Entire battle groups now patrolled its borders, Terran signals jamming every foreign attempt to peer inside. Massive carriers launched fleets of drones that blanketed systems like locust swarms. And yet not once did they expand beyond their sector. They did not invade. They did not broadcast threats. They simply watched. That was worse. Whispers spread through taverns and ports. Humans do not just build fleets. They entomb them, waiting for the day they are needed. If one graveyard could awaken, how many others lay hidden in forgotten corners of the galaxy? Some claimed Earth itself was a tomb, hiding something even greater. Others feared that the awakened fleet was only a fragment, a scouting arm of a storm yet to come. What terrified them most was the question no one could answer: who gave the order to awaken? Humanity was gone. No colony spoke. No voices answered. And yet the fleet moved with purpose. Perhaps some whispered the humans had never been gone at all. Shadows over the stars. Across the galaxy, silence fell. Trade routes shifted to avoid the graveyard. Empires redoubled their armories, knowing none could match the ancient Terran designs. And in every council chamber, every throne room, every war council, one truth echoed: humanity does not die. They sleep. They wait. And when the time is right, they rise again. The stars themselves seemed dimmer as that realization spread, for the galaxy had mocked the graveyard. They had laughed at the silence, derided the dust, and sneered at the bones. But now the bones marched, engines burning, shadows stretching across suns, and the galaxy knew dread. For if this was only one graveyard stirring, what storm still slept, hidden in the dark? To the Zarin scholars, humanity was nothing but an echo. A long-dead species. A cautionary tale used in academies across the galaxy. Their archives were filled with fragments, broken signals, charred satellite husks, and the skeletal remains of colonies that once burned bright with ambition. Earth itself, a pale blue planet tucked inside Sol, had been quarantined by silence. The councils told the young that humans were too fierce, too reckless, too doomed by their own fire. Their wars consumed them, their daring spread them thin, and in the end the humans simply vanished, leaving ruins scattered across forgotten star systems. For centuries, it was comfortable to believe. A species that could once terrify was now a ghost. And like all ghosts, they were mocked. The Zarin diplomats laughed when their fleets patrolled the Terran periphery, calling it the graveyard. A cluster of derelict systems, rusting stations, asteroid drydocks drifting in the void. Nothing but shadows of a primitive empire. Humanity is gone, the galaxy told itself. And the stars remained quiet. Until the quiet began to shift. The signals beneath the dust. The first anomaly was dismissed. A patrol frigate from the Ithari Dominion passed near Epsilon Eridani and picked up faint electromagnetic noise, pulse rhythms buried under static. The crew cataloged it as background junk, ancient human chatter degrading after centuries. Nothing more. Then, a week later, a Harun mining caravan near Procyon reported unexplained navigation interference. Their instruments showed bursts of coherent transmission, old Terran encryption headers embedded in the code. Impossible, said their overseers. Humans are dead, their codes are artifacts. The reports piled higher. Sensors caught faint power surges near the skeletal frames of orbital yards around Tau Ceti. Unlit ships, kilometer-long, hung like corpses in space, but their cores hummed, briefly, as though dreaming. Explorers claimed to see flashes, pinpricks of light in dead shipyards that should have been nothing but cold metal. The galaxy scoffed, comforted by ridicule. The graveyard stirs, the jesters of the council proclaimed. Perhaps the bones rattle when the solar winds pass too strong. But the laughter began to sour. Because the signals didn't fade, they grew louder, coordinated, structured. Someone or something was talking in the dark. When the graveyard opened its eyes, it happened without ceremony. One night the ghost fleet blinked awake. In the Perseus fringe, a Zaran patrol saw it first. A derelict cruiser thought to be lifeless for 500 years, ignited. Engines that had not burned in half a millennium flared alive, shedding layers of dust and ice into fire. The ship moved, smooth, purposeful, not a hulk drifting with inertia, but a predator stretching its limbs. Within hours, entire fields of wreckage lit up. Stations once split and hollow sealed their gaps as hatches clanged shut. Drone swarms poured from their bellies, repairing, welding, reforging what the galaxy thought broken. Across multiple systems, thousands of dormant signals synchronized into a single pulse. A code broadcast, old but still unbroken. Terra Armada, Operation Stasis complete, awaiting orders. The graveyard was not a ruin. It was a vault. And the vault had just unlocked itself. The dead marched forward. Panic rippled through the observing fleets. The Zaran patrol sent an urgent broadcast before being enveloped in shadow. The cruiser they had mocked now loomed before them, bristling with weapon ports. Its hull still bore the insignia of the Terran Defense Navy, faded but defiant, a blue planet encircled by steel wings. The ancient vessel moved as if time hadn't touched it. No hesitation, no sluggish decay. Its drives burned steady, its targeting arrays focused with surgical precision. The patrol's captain ordered retreat, but the humans did not fire. They didn't need to. The message was clear. All across the sector, the sky shifted. Where the galaxy saw floating junk, now lines of warships aligned into formation. Heavy cruisers, dreadnoughts, carrier hulls the size of moons. Thousands, tens of thousands of ships waking in eerie silence. The so-called graveyard wasn't a scattering of wrecks. It was a fleet in waiting. A fleet that had been sleeping, preserved by machines, protected by systems the galaxy never understood. While empires rose and fell, while councils debated and scoffed, humanity's war machine waited. Patient, perfect. And now it stirred with hunger. Storm of forgotten titans. Modern fleets rushed in. Ithari squadrons scrambled to surround the resurrection. Harun dreadships moved to blockade routes. The council declared emergency convocation, urging caution, urging containment. But containment was a lie. The first clash came at Tau Ceti. A combined flotilla of 3 modern species advanced cautiously on the human station cluster. The derelicts, cold and lifeless only days before, rotated as if acknowledging them. Engines flared. The aliens opened warning fire. And then the graveyard moved. Old Terran cruisers broke formation with terrifying discipline. Their drives accelerated faster than modern hulls could manage. Their weapons, rail batteries, laser lances, missile swarms, erupted in a storm that shredded the blockade in minutes. Every tactic the aliens knew, the humans had written in their bones centuries before. Their maneuvers were not clumsy echoes of history. They were perfect rehearsals, executed with ruthless efficiency. One after another, fleets fell back in panic as ancient dreadnoughts carved paths through them, not even deploying their full arsenal, just demonstrating enough. And as the survivors fled, they carried the horror. The graveyard was alive. The humans were not extinct. Their ships had been waiting. The weight of terror. Whispers spread faster than transmissions. If these were merely the forgotten relics, what had the humans held back? If this was one armory, what vault still slept in deeper shadows of the galaxy? Legends resurfaced, stories of Terran doomsday plans, fleets hidden in nebulae, arsenals buried beneath barren moons, entire armies sealed in cryostasis waiting for a signal. Scholars scoured archives and found chilling notes. Initiate stasis fleets. Time is the ally of the patient. Engineers wept at the sight of Terran weaponry that, even after 500,000 years, outclassed their cutting-edge designs. The galaxy had mocked the graveyard. Now it feared the storm rising from it. The aftermath, a galaxy that remembers. The council no longer mocked, they whispered instead, they whispered in dread. Patrol routes shifted far from the graveyard, as if avoiding a predator's den. Diplomats spoke in hushed tones of containing Terran resurgence, though none dared send fleets again. Because the humans had not yet spoken. Their armada hung silent, engines glowing, weapons primed, but they had not made a single demand, not a single word of diplomacy. Only one haunting transmission still pulsed across the stars. Awaiting orders. No one knew who would give them. No one knew if someone, somewhere, still carried the blood of Earth, ready to reclaim command. But every empire understood one truth. Humanity did not vanish. Humanity waited. And when the galaxy mocked their grave, the grave began to move. The silence was broken. The storm was awake. And the stars themselves held their breath. For millennia, the galaxy spoke of humanity only in the past tense. Their name was reduced to a whisper, their history filed away under the category of extinction. To most, Earth was nothing but a burned-out rock orbiting a middling sun,